Good morning, good afternoon, and hello, guys. Good to see you. Happy Friday, all. We did it. We made it to the end of the week. It's been a weird one this week. I don't know about the rest of you guys, but it's gone fast but slow at the same time. But there's been so much to do this week and so much to do before Christmas. Just think it's the 17th today, so this time next week it'll be Christmas Eve. And then the week after it'll be New Year's Eve, and then we're into 2022. I can't believe it. But before we get into the show and really start talking, let me say hello to everybody. So, we have got both Bash Brothers. We've got Mark and Chris. Hello, gentlemen. Good to see you. We've got Keely Chow, Roll Tide Keely. We've got Lord Doff. Good to see you, love. Good morning. TZ Canadian. Good to see you as well. Andrew, good to see you. Good morning. Big hello to Leah Rose. A big good morning to S. Good to see you. We've got the Lady Arwin. Good morning, love. Good to see you as well. Daryl the Derelict. Hey there. Good to see you. We've got the lovely Mary. Good to see you, Mary. Good morning. Let's see. Gun Bunny. Hello, sweetheart. Good morning to you as well. Let me scroll on up so I'm not missing anybody. You guys have been busy today. Apollome's Minion. Good morning. I hope you're feeling better, sweetheart, as well. And hello to Truck Dog. Let's see who else we've got. D-Bud Martin, good morning to you. Good to see you. I think that's everybody. I think we got everybody. You guys were busy today talking food, and quite rightly so as well. You all picked up on the title for today's show. Yes, I did shamelessly steal it from Oliver. I put my hands up, but what can I say? I like the musical. I really do. And good morning to Darius Munchausen. Hello, sweetheart. And Mr. Derpy, good to see you as well. Good morning. And Mr. Hyde, hello. He says, I heard someone say food, so I slid into the chat. Good to see you. Hope you're having a good day as well. Yeah, guys, I've got to confess, I was looking through stories last night and I was thinking, Purple, what are we going to cover? What are we going to talk about? And I wanted to try and find something that was light-hearted. And all the stories that I was coming across were really kind of either negative or something that I didn't really want to cover, for a Friday, because Fridays are supposed to be all about fun. We're getting into the weekend. And I just wanted something, easy that we could chat about. And good afternoon. Let's see, we've got Archie Connin, good to see you. There you are. And Eldrick Lord Haster as well. Good to see you. Hope you're doing well, guys. So, what actually brought on the idea of talking about food? Well, one, I know everybody loves food, but it was more to do with I was cooking yesterday. Now, that's one of the things I'm trying to get back into. I used to cook a lot when I was younger, but with work and with the channel and with all sorts of other things, it kind of had to be put on the back burner. So what I was doing yesterday was actually making a stew, which I haven't made for ages. And I was thinking, I really enjoy the act of cooking, because it's something that I really haven't done for a while. Now, the stuff that I really love to make, I'm not the best cook, I will put my hands up and say, but I love to make kind of stews. I love to make pies, anything like that. The one thing that I'm not very good at is actually desserts. I'm terrible at making desserts. About the only thing that I can do is cakes. I'm okay at pies, kind of like apple pies, and then kind of cookies. that's about the extent of what I can make. Let me say a big thank you to Darius Munchausen, who sent us a super sticker. Let me just see what that is, sweetheart. It's popcorn. Thank you, sweetheart. I hope you're having a good day. Really appreciate that. And good morning to Terry Rose. It says, good morning, friends. Good morning to you too. Hope you're having a good one. So, what about you guys? Do you guys like to cook? I know a lot of people do. Gumbunny says Psychodorf 9 is really good at seeing what's in our kitchen and coming up with a meal in 45 minutes or less. Now, that's something that I would love to be able to do. I know a lot of people can really kind of get just a bunch of ingredients together and just throw it all in and it tastes delicious. I'm not one of those people. I have to follow a recipe, unfortunately. Else it goes horribly wrong. But I am envious of anyone who can just come up with a meal on the fly with ingredients. That's something I would like to do. Chris says, but pie is dessert. Yes. Well, sweet pies and kind of savory pies I like to make. So I like to make, pork pies. Used to be really good at. I make a really good fish pie. That tastes really good as well. And good morning to lovely Sherry. Good to see you, honey. Darius Munchausen says, I enjoy cooking, but I don't know how to cook very many things. That's kind of the boat that I'm in, unfortunately. I'm slowly getting back into it, but I was taught very young how to cook. Both my grandmothers were great cooks. They were the type of lady that could kind of just whip up anything with ingredients that they had to hand, because that's kind of how they were taught as well. My mum is a really good cook, for example. Chris says savoury pies be still my beating heart. Savoury pies are a big deal over here. I'm not sure what it's like over in the US, but I think savoury pies tend to be more popular than sweet pies. So even though we do pies, apple pies and um, you know dessert pies, it's the meat pies that we really like. Mr. Hyde says, I'm a glutton for stuffing. I like stuffing as well. I didn't when I was younger, I've got to admit, especially with Christmas dinner. It was one of those ones that kind of got pushed to the side of the plate because I wasn't a big fan. That and Sprouts. But as I got older and my taste changed, I learned to love it. Pada says, when I became a mom of 4 boys, I learned how to cook in a big pot. These boys get through a gallon of milk in less than 2 days. Holy heck. Yes, I can imagine. And I love that you cook in a really big pot. I've got one of those big kind of casserole pots that I love to use. That's awesome. Arwin says, not a fan of stuffing, but give me mashed potatoes anytime with gravy. Hell yes. Mark says, oyster dressing. I don't think I've ever tried oyster dressing, but I've heard it's really good. Terry Rose says, hot dogs are my best creation, sauerkraut, chili, etc. Yum. That does sound really good. Brandon is all about the stuffing. He says, let's see. Good morning to you, Brandon. He says, love stuffing. Always stuffing, cornbread, chicken, turkey. All about the stuffing. All of the above. And good morning to you. Good to see you. So, guys, let me ask, since we've got Christmas dinner coming up, and I know at least over here, it's probably one of the most important meals that we do when we do cook. We get the family together, and because of what's happened, I think a lot of people are really looking forward to having these really big family get-togethers again, like we used to do. So, do you guys? I think we talked about it before, but we always have turkey on Christmas. Probably on the Christmas Eve. We used to have something like ham, or we've had duck in the past. And then Boxing Day, it's all about turkey sandwiches and leftovers, which is fine by me because I love that. Hello to Daryl the Derelict. Good morning, Lovey says shepherd's pie. You balls. I do a really good shepherd's pie. Shepherd's pie is awesome. Brandon says, no kids for Christmas morning this year. Oh, that's awesome. Fanna says, oops, it skipped on me. Turkey and ham here. I thought so. They tend to be the kind of go-to because they work really well. But I love turkey. I don't have it that often throughout the year. I tend to use it as like a treat. So we'll have it at Christmas, and very occasionally I'll have it at Easter as well sometimes. Brandon says a delicious ham and turkey are always great. Absolutely. Gumbunny spiraled hams for Christmas. Psycho Dwarf makes a delicious shepherd's pie. Oh, that's awesome. I love shepherd's pie. I haven't made one of those for a while. I'm going to have to make that. What else do I love to make? Curries. Love to make curries. That's what I do with the leftover turkey. If it doesn't go in a sandwich, it will go in a curry. So I'd love to use up whatever's left. Arwin says turkey and all the trimmings. Sometimes my dad will also make a roast pork loin. That sounds really good. I love roast pork loin, especially with applesauce on the side. And at the moment, for some reason, I don't eat them very often, but I'm really craving roast potatoes. So that's what I'm going to make sure I have for Christmas dinner as well. Polymus Minion says I'm going to have I'm going to have turkey on Christmas Eve this year due to my family being silly about the vaccine. Oh, I'm sorry, honey. Yeah, there's still a lot of that going around, isn't there? Unfortunately, on the plus side, people seem to be, more open to the idea of getting back together. That's what we want. We want to get back to normal. I can't deal with any more of these, lockdowns that are being hinted at. So, hopefully, everything is back to normal in 2022, or as much as it can be. Gumbin says chicken curry and rice are a huge hit for our gaming group. I bet that sounds great. And chili's a good one as well, if making a really big pot of chili that people can just help themselves to. That's awesome. Terry Rose says the only shepherd's pies are the ones I've eaten at medieval festivals. I would love to go to a medieval festival. We don't really have them over here. But the only closest thing we've ever done is if it's somewhere like one of the castles, for example. Sometimes they'll have like reenactments or jousting tournaments, but it's not exactly the same as a medieval festival. But that's awesome. Brandon says burnt ends. Now, is this burnt ends as in brisket? Because I've heard that brisket is amazing, but I've never tried it yet. And hello to Trinoculus P. Good to see you. He says homemade cranberry relish. Nice. High quality ham, green bean casserole, mashed potato, and pies. Oh, that sounds so good. That sounds amazing. Do you guys in America ever get sick of curry not curry, turkey, sorry, because obviously you've just had Thanksgiving and then it goes straight into Christmas just a little bit later? Pat says I love cottage pie, not big on lamb. I like both. I've got a bit of the two. I tend to go towards the shepherd's pie, which is the lamb, but cottage pie is awesome too. So that's pretty cool. Yes, Brandon says brisket burnt ends, soak up all the smoke, fat, and awesomeness. Oh, that sounds really cool. Mark says pork burnt ends are barbecue candy. That sounds almost like pork rinds or pork scratchings. That's pretty cool. I know a lot of people are a big fan of them. I'm not so much. I mean, they're okay, but they're not my kind of go-to snack, I've got to admit. But they do sound good. Colin said, I've been to a few feasts, but we do some medieval style cooking at the shows. That's pretty cool. I'd love to do that. That's one of the things I really want to do as well next year. Try to get to more conventions and just get out more. That's that's what I really would like. And good morning to Pacific 414. Good to see you. Darius says I'm getting hungry. Mark says the only good turkey is ever smoked or fried. Yeah, I didn't know a fried turkey was a thing until you guys told me about it. I had no idea. So with us, the way that we do our turkeys is usually or baste it, put bacon over it, cover it, and then put it in the oven and cook it that way, and just keep basting it until it's cooked all the way through. I know a lot of people tend to put the turkey in way too early and it just sits there and dries out. There's an art to cooking the perfect turkey, but I've never tried fried turkey, but it sounds good. Gunvan says we occasionally do board or card games if they're missing more than one player. That's pretty damn cool. Uh, that's awesome. Uh, Colin says if a Cornish pasty must come from Cornwall, must the shepherd's pie be made from real shepherds? I love a good Cornish pasty, but it's got to have the carrots in. If it doesn't have carrots in, it's not a Cornish pasty. Let's see what else you guys are saying. Alvin says fried turkey is amazing. I'll put it on my to try list. It's just, I don't know, it's just something that we don't do over here. Pat says if my friend was in a B&B in England a few years ago. He said there was an instant pot of chicken vindaloo all afternoon in the house. He liked it. That's what we tend to do, especially if we've got company over. It's similar to what Gunman was saying about her gaming group. So you just make up a really big pot of either curry or chili or soup or something, and people can just come along and help themselves. I love that. Hello, good to see you. Let's see if I can pronounce this correctly. Mm. They say, as a West Midlander, can you explain the difference between a Baltic curry and a normal restaurant curry to a Londoner? Generally, a Baltic curry will be made by an Indian family-owned restaurant, so it'll be their own recipe. A normal curry will be probably one that's kind of been passed around. It'll either be a chef's curry, but usually if it's a Balti curry, it's specific to that particular restaurant. It's still called Balti, but there will be slight variations, so the spices will be slightly different, as far as I know. But I love curry. But I'm a bit of a wuss when it comes to really hot food. Max Relaxes says, hail all. Hail to you too. Good to see you. Hope you're having a good day as well. Tara's Munchhouse, and I need to get fattened up with some good food. Well, I hope you have some something good to eat today. Treat yourself. Have something really nice. This is the time of year when we have kind of comfort food, and I love that. It'll be the new year, when at least I will be trying to lose weight once again. But wintertime, it's all about comfort food. It's all about chocolate, hot chocolate, that kind of thing. Sweets, lots of sweets. Let me ask you guys as well. Do you prefer sweet or savory? I tend to go towards savory food as a preference, although there are some sweets that I really enjoy. I like chocolate. Chocolate's awesome. I think everybody can agree with that. But I'm quite particular when it comes to chocolate. So my favorite is Galaxy. I really love the Galaxy chocolate. Not so much Cadbury's, although I like some of them. And what I really like are kind of jelly fruit flavored sweets. So things like fruit pastels or jelly babies, those sort of things. Trinoculus goes towards savory. Mary's game room says savory, but I also enjoy sweet and salty together. Yes, that is awesome. Arwin says I'm a cupcake, cake, pumpkin pie girl. I still, on my to try list, I still want to try pumpkin pie. I've heard it's amazing, so I'm looking forward to it. But I just can't find it over here. It's really sad. Sherry says I'm gonna make a trifle. Love sweets. Oh, I love trifle. That is so cool. I would love that. That's a really good idea. Daryl says I eat so much during the holidays I become a jelly. That's what it's all about. That's what Christmas is for. And Darius, I have to be in the mood for chocolate. I like it, but not all of the time. That's pretty much where I am as well. I like it, but in moderation. Um, and I like kind of flavored chocolate. So I like Terry's chocolate oranges. I like mint with chocolates. That's probably my favorite combination. And good morning, good to see you. It's Aj Melody. It says in front of me currently 2 over-easy eggs, andouille sausage, rye toast, cranberry topped cottage cheese, banana, raspberry yogurt, pina colada, and coffee. Because I'm a glutton on Fridays. Oh my goodness, that sounds amazing. We need pics. That sounds so good. I like breakfast, I've got to admit, but I don't tend to cook breakfast when I'm at home. What I tend to do is have breakfast if I'm out and about, especially if I'm on holiday. I love to go to breakfast buffets, or I love to go to restaurants and have a really big breakfast. And then what I usually do is skip lunch and then go straight to dinner later on. Brightest day with all the food. That sounds amazing. Good morning, brightest day. Good to see you. Oh, let me scroll back up because I saw some really cool comments. Mark says, my mum makes a dessert called chocolate rouge that would give you diabetes if you eat too much of it. That sounds so good. That sounds amazing. Sweet chestnuts are an Xmas old-fashioned food. Does anybody actually like them, though? I'm not a massive fan of nuts. Take that as you will, guys. Not a big fan of things like peanuts or macadamia nuts or those sort of things. So not for me, but it's, I know a lot of people like it, but I think it tends to be kind of the older generation. I know my grandfather was a big fan of things like walnuts. He'd always have a bowl of walnuts that he could kind of snack on and that sort of thing. But yeah, I'm not a big fan, to be honest. Brandon says for his breakfast, over-easy eggs, hash browns, pit ham with red-eye gravy. That sounds good. Not sure what it is, but it sounds good. Sourdough toast, milk coffee when I feel like cheating. Not supposed to have it. Breakfast of the gods. Oh, that sounds good. And hello to Snowdove Live. He says, hey kids, good to see you. Good to see you as well. Cavacheni or Cavamanche, good to see you. Breakfast at Las Vegas buffet is insane. That is on my to-do list for next year, guys. One of the things that I will do come hell or high water is when the next Vegas meetup is, I am going to be there because I can't wait to get to meet as many people as possible. So yes, a Vegas style breakfast buffet is on the list. That sounds so cool. Lord Dot says, my wife loves roasted chestnuts. She bakes them last night. That sounds really nice. I know a lot of people really do like them. I think it's kind of like an accompaniment. Maybe it's an acquired taste, or maybe I just need to try them again. Armin says, I like the idea of sugar chestnuts, just not the actual nut. I'm kind of right there with you as well. But I'm not a big fan of kind of like almonds or sunflower seeds or those kind of things either, unfortunately. If I was going to have a snack, it would be something like either pretzels or that sort of thing, something kind of savory that I can snack on. Brandon says, I skipped on me. Sorry, Brandon. I'll go grab it. It said, hashtag free purple. Yes, absolutely. Free purple. 2022, guys. We're nearly there. It's going to happen. I promise. I know we've got a lot planned for 2022, and a lot of people have, I think because of what's happened for the last couple of years, they're really going to make a conscious effort with 2022 to make this a great year. And a lot of people are really kind of starting off the new year with a bang. I know Brandon is one of them. Max Relax says the smell of roasted nuts is great as well. They're roasting freshly in the market here. They do. And we've got a lot of Christmas markets around at the moment. Where I live, there's a really big Christmas market, and it's really nice when you're wandering around shopping. You can smell things like hot dogs cooking and onions. And there's this really big German beer place as well. And they do mulled wine and hot chocolate, and it sounds great. Isash Melody says spicy purple Cheetos. I've never had spicy purple Cheetos. That sound good though. That sounds amazing. Cavatenio Cavamanche says baklava is a great dessert with nuts. That sounds really good, actually. Since we're talking dessert, let me throw this at you guys. Cheesecake. It's an old debate, and it's gone back and forth. Is it a cake or is it a pie? I'll let you guys decide that. For me, I would class it as a pie, but an open pie because it's got the biscuit base, and usually it's got the crust around the outside. Brandon says, love cheesecake. I do too, I've got to admit. I love a little. Brandon says, it's in the name, cake. Trinoculus P says it's a custard. Yeah, it is. It's a solid custard, I guess that. Eldrick Lord Hoster said it's a pie. Brandon says, does it matter? In the grand scheme of things, I guess not, no. But everybody seems to love cheesecake. But I just think it's funny to see people kind of arguing back and forth about what it is. Darius says cheesecake is its own category, my favourite. Gun Bunny says, love cheesecake, but Shockwave only likes it plain. I don't mind plain cheesecake, but I prefer something like a lemon, for example. I think that goes really well with cheesecake. Mocha chocolate cheesecake is delicious. Oh, that sounds good. Vertical Horizons, hello, love, good to see you. Cheesecake is godly. Indeed. You get a good cheesecake and it really hits the spot. Brandon says cheesecake is one of the few desserts I will bend over backwards to get. Yes. I think people like cheesecake so much because it's not too heavy. So even if you've had a really big meal, you can still kind of fit just a little slice of cheesecake in and you don't feel like you've overdone it. Eponymous Minion says it's a pie. When is a pie not a pie? When it's open. Hashtag not a real pie. That's a good argument. I will concede to that one. Okay, because pies generally do have a lid to them. Mark says, oops, it skipped on me. If it's baked, it's a cake. If it sets in the fridge, it's a pie. Oh my gosh. I love it. Blueberry cheesecake is dangerously good. Blueberry is great. I love blueberry muffins as well. Those are really awesome. Back over Halloween, they did pumpkin spice muffins, and those were really good as well. I'm not generally a massive fan of pumpkin spice because usually it's not just pumpkin; it's got that nutmeg and cinnamon as well, which I'm not a massive fan in. But yes, they were good because you could actually taste the pumpkin. And Stick Kenobi, hey, good to see you. Says Perpy, put that food in my belly like you did on Naboo. Good afternoon, love. Good to see you. Vertical Horizons, blueberry, anything is always a viable choice. Indeed. Blueberry cheesecake, muffins, pie, always good. I like blueberries. I like blueberries. They're pretty awesome. They're really good in cereal as well. You just kind of scatter on if you've got porridge or something like that to top it with. Gun Bunny says strawberry on top with strawberry syrup over cheesecake and I will be happy. Oh, I love strawberries. Strawberries are awesome. I could eat a bowl of strawberries just as they are. Stick says, well, I'm leaving now. Want to watch more of The Witcher Season 2. Bye. Bye, love. You enjoy The Witcher 2. I know you said it was definitely worth a watch, so it's on my list of things to do. Just a lot of work to do at the moment. Eponymous Minion says, my go-to dessert is pumpkin pie. I've heard it's really nice. See, pumpkin pie, I was never sure what it was, whether it was a sweet pie or whether it was more of a savoury pie, because I always think of pumpkins as quite having quite a savoury taste, but apparently it's sweet and it's quite creamy, so it sounds really good. Deiji Sound, hello, love. Good to see you. Says porridge. Absolutely, I love porridge. I don't eat breakfast very often, as I said, when I'm home. But if I do, usually it'll either be yogurt, toast, or porridge. I love to have porridge with a little bit of honey over the top. That's really good. Trinaculus P asks, is fruitcake a cake or bread? See, for me, I would class it as a cake, but it's a very, very dense cake. You know if you've had fruitcake, absolutely. And Battle Hymn 63, good to see you. I have a few blueberry and blackberry bushes on my property. It's hell keeping the birds off them. Yes, anything with berries, they go crazy for. I had a cherry tree in my garden, and I could never get any cherries off it because the birds would always get to it first. Brandon says fruitcake is not fit for human consumption. It's a doorstop. It's kind of a running joke at Christmas. People give each other fruitcakes, and nobody seems to really like fruitcake, but it just gets passed around. Islam Melody says fruitcake is a projectile. Chris Persia, neither. Fruitcake is a doorstopper. Fruitcake makes a great boat anchor. Snowtub, I really like to eat. Wait, what kind of show is this? Yes. I'm hoping that P was going to be Pringles, Snowdub. I really like to eat Pringles. I don't mind fruitcake, I've got to admit, but yes. And Louise is correct. UK fruitcake is not the same as US fruitcake. That is absolutely correct. Over there, it seems to be a much heavier deal. Trinaculus says, what is the expiration date of a fruitcake? The same as a Twinkie, as far as I'm aware. Brandon says, if you get a fruitcake, they're not so subtly telling you to bite off. And good morning to X-Wing. Hello, love. Good to see you. Hope you're doing well today. Hope you're having a good one. Ah, okay, Snowdub, I gotcha. He says it was pie. Uh-huh. I see you. Of course it was. Good man. Let's see what else you've got to say. Hello to Pacific 414. My late mother would make a fruitcake that even people who didn't like fruitcake wanted to eat from her. I bet that was amazing. A lot of people really do have this kind of signature dish that they do brilliantly. That must have been hers. I bet it was really, really tasty if people wanted it year after year. That is so cool. Mark, oops, sorry. Mark says, is UK fruitcake more like a pudding? I guess so. I mean, I'm not a big fruitcake fan anyway, but it's a lighter kind of deal, at least for us. It's more of a kind of sponge rather than like a really heavy brick of a cake. So it's a little bit more digestible. Isaac Melody says, I hear they still exist in the ruins of Vesuvius. Trinaculous P, you have a fantastic day, sweetheart. Love you all. Need to take my lunch break. Go get something good to eat today, since we've been talking food all morning. Go enjoy. And yes, Snowdove, I see you. Your halo is slipping. X-Wing says we're talking about fruitcakes, but Daryl isn't even here to defend himself. As a child, I would pick the icing off fruitcake and eat it and leave the fruitcake. Now, as an old grump, I eat the fruitcake and leave the icing. I would be right there with you in leaving the icing because I don't like marzipan. That's another one of those just weird things that I'm not a really big fan of. So yeah, I would kind of peel the icing and the marzipan off and just leave it at the sides as well. Be right there with you. Louise says, Mum uses a wedding cake recipe for our fruitcakes. Oh, I bet that's really nice. I bet that's much lighter as well. That sounds really good. Good morning to Zax. Good to see you. Hope you're doing well. Eponymy's Minion brings up a good point. Only good fruitcake is one soaked in alcohol. Yes, that is similar to the Christmas puddings that we have. So Christmas puddings, if you make one, they tend to be made back in September, and then they are just left to hang, and then you soak them in alcohol closer towards Christmas, and then you just set them on fire. Usually it's brandy or it's something like that you soak them in, and put a sprig of holly on top and just let that sucker burn. Let's see. Yes, there you go. Do you guys light your puddings on fire? If you're late for work the next day, does Mr. Scrooge give you a raise, an extra coal? Yes, we do light the puddings on fire. Have to be extra careful, obviously, when you do it, and make sure that you blow it out before you cut the cake. But yeah, we do. It heats up the cake, and then you either have it with custard or double cream or occasionally ice cream, anything like that. But again, that cake is very similar, I think, to your fruit cake. It's quite heavy. It's quite dense cake, so you generally only have a small piece anyway. Not that you mind after a massive Christmas dinner. Mark says Mary makes some really good Christmas goodies. Yes, she does. I saw the pictures that Mary posted on Twitter. Those cookies look incredible. They look so good. And I think they were pretzels as well. They looked amazing. And I think you guys were talking about cherries as well, soaked in alcohol. That sounds so good. X-Wing says US fruitcake has recently been classified as a deadly weapon. It was used heavily during the riots to break windows and riot shields. That'll do it. Yep. Louise, I don't like marzipan either. No, I think it's I don't know whether it's a generational thing, but not a lot of people that I know of our age seem to really like marzipan, but kind of like the older generation really like it. It's like Turkish Delight, that sort of thing. You know, the kind of older sweets that we used to have. Let's see what else you guys are saying. Dave G. Sound says we light everything on fire. Yeah, we tend to as well. If we can light it on fire, it's going to go up in flames. Everything from obviously we do bonfire night, and then everything just goes on the bonfire and gets set on fire. And then we have we cook around the bonfire as well, and then Christmas rolls around and we set the cakes on fire. There should be an old silver sixpence in a Christmas pudding. Yes, there used to be a lot of things, if I remember correctly, because each of them meant something different. So depending on what you got in your slice of cake, I think the silver sixpence was supposed to be for good luck in the new year, money wise, and there were other things as well that got added. Knowing my luck, I'd cut into the cake and just hit something. Mum would put apricot brandy in hers. That was the key selling ingredient. Oh, that sounds good. Never tried apricot brandy, but that does sound really good. And Brandon says, well, hell, back to work with me. Lurk mode engaged. In case I do not come back, you all have a great weekend. Love you all. And I mean that. Cheers all. Love you too, Brandon. You have a fantastic day at work. And no doubt we will see you over the weekend as well. So take care. Ooh, Gum Bunny. We have peaches and cherries soaking in moonshine. Guys, what does moonshine taste like? I've heard varying things. I've heard it's really good but incredibly strong. Does it depend on who makes it? Is there different types of moonshine? Uh, let me know in the chat. But again, that's something else I would love to try when I get to the US. Arwen says, oops, sorry. Arwen says marzipan, too almondy, and the consistency is weird. It is. It's got that kind of waxy consistency that I find. I know it's got the it's usually got kind of powdered sugar or something on it as well to stop it from sticking and getting too sticky and breaking apart. But yeah, there's something just not right about it. I'm not a big fan. Mark says Turkish Delight is terrible. Yes, it is. I will agree with that. Even covered in chocolate, it doesn't help. Islam Melody, the local creamery, has a whiskey and southern pecan pie ice cream. Ooh. I was told that it's not appropriate to make floats with Jameson. Just like creme brulee on fire. Absolutely. Creme brulee is awesome, but not easy to make. Souffle is even harder because if you don't do it right, it doesn't rise, and you've just got a mess. But still tastes good usually. And good afternoon to Robert. Good to see you, Robert Pearson. This Fry's Turkish Delight is amazing. That's the one I'm most familiar with, but I've got to admit I'm still not a fan. I know a lot of people really do like it, but yeah, not for me. Sorry. Can you imagine giving up your brothers and sisters for Turkish Delight? Nice Narnia reference. Thank you, Paris. Let's see what you guys have to say. You've been busy today. But Snowdub says Brendan doesn't love me, he just loves my puppet style. Everyone loves your puppet style, Snowdub. Let's see what else you guys are saying. Battle Him says, anyone here ever smoke a turkey? And I don't mean putting a pipe or rolling it. I haven't, but I've heard people say that it's really good. Apparently, it's right up there with the frying of the turkey. So maybe it's something I'll have to try in the future. Some moonshine will strip the paint off walls. Pat says it tastes like fire and turpentine. Yeah. Moonshine is unaged whiskey, basically gasoline. Guys, you're not selling it to me. I really wanted to try moonshine, but I've got a feeling it's going to knock me on my ass if I do. I know a guy who makes birthday cake moonshine. Huh. Now that would be interesting. And thank you to Snowdub. Thank you, sweetheart. He sent us a $2 super chat. He says, wait, Purple is coming stateside? When? Where? Soon, hopefully. Haven't exactly pinned down the dates yet, but there's a lot going on next year. There are a lot of meetups and conventions, so I want to do at least a couple of them. I definitely want to do the Vegas one. That's one of the big ones. Maybe the Echo Base meetup, and that would be amazing. And then in October we have the Valhalla meetup as well at Retropalooza, Valhalla Palooza. So really looking forward to that one. That one is going to be amazing. Thank you, Snowdub. But I will let you guys know when I know more. Chris says Purple Valkyrie. The flavour of moonshine depends on what you're fermenting, so it can vary from plum brandy to corn whiskey. See, for me, I would probably go more towards the plum brandy because I'm not a massive whiskey drinker or whiskey fan. Um, but I wasn't sure whether moonshine was moonshine or whether there was just a wide variation that you could have. That's pretty cool. Thank you, Chris. I appreciate that. Terry Rose, my mother used to cook a whole Cornish game hen. It was like being it was like being a giant eating a turkey. I love the little game hens. I love anything chicken. My spouse makes chicken at a ab, adobo Filipino style. Oh, that sounds amazing. I love poultry as well. It's probably my favorite, but I do love steak as well. TZ Canadian says you have to spend some time in the Appalachian Mountains to drink moonshine. Nice. You can make you can make moonshine with just about anything with sugar content. Nice. Have you ever tried Everclear? I have tried Everclear. Is that it? Because Terry Rose also says Everclear will knock you out too. I gotta admit, I wasn't a fan. It's definitely an acquired taste. One that I haven't acquired. Lord Hasta says I live in Appalachian mountain areas. Nice. I bet that's really beautiful there. Well, might have to make a Valhalla / con convention. Talk to the peeps in charge. Sounds good. More the merrier. We are going to have an amazing meetup. We really are. Really looking forward to it, guys. So he also says moonshine is my playground. That sounds really good. Shine has to be diluted into 1,000 different styles. True moonshine, when you take a sip, almost evaporates completely, dries your gums and tongues up immediately. You're also drunk immediately. That sounds good. I've heard it's very strong. That's what I've heard. But again, I'd be curious to try it just to see what it's like. Sorry, Cavitine Yoshi. Abdubo, thank you. It's so delicious with beef and mixed chicken or pork. Nice. That sounds amazing. I'm getting hungry. Armin says, love how we started out with food and derailed into booze. 'Tis the way. 'Tis what we do. But, the food and drink, it goes hand in hand, so we're still vaguely in the ballpark. Polymus Minion says, my grandfather made a drink with Everclear. He called it soda pop. Oh, I bet that confused a lot of people. Oh my gosh. Armin says, Mad Dog 2020 is imitation moonshine. I've never heard of that. But that sounds interesting. Like I say, I'm not a big drinker, I've got to admit, but there are some things that I would really like to try. And Shine, we don't really have over here. The closest that we do homemade cider and things. Now, that's not like the cider that you get at the supermarket. This is the really strong cider, fermented. So I would guess it's similar, but probably not exactly the same as the moonshine that you guys do. We also do Mead has made a big comeback recently. Now I like Mead, but I can only drink like one glass because again it is incredibly sweet. Eponymous Minion said it tasted like 7-Up. Oh, that would have been dangerous. I love 7-Up. When I used to drink sodas and sweet drinks like that, I kind of cut them out of my diet now because getting older, they weren't particularly good for me. But I used to love 7-Up. 7-Up and Sprite used to be my favorites and my kind of go-to if I was going to have a carbonated drink. I was never a really big fan of things like Coke or Pepsi, but anything like that was good. Baruhim says, just hearing Mad Dog 2020 gives me the shivers. Not the good kind. Um, a lot of people have that one kind of alcohol that they drank too much of, especially when they were younger, and they just have no tolerance to it now. I know a lot of people either it would be, they drank too much beer, so now they can't drink lager, or cider was a good one. Used to be able to get really big bottles of cider very cheap. So when we were teenagers, we used to drink them, and that put off a lot of people later on in life. They can't even stand the smell of apple juice now because it turns the stomach. We need to give Pink and Purple Vineyard to a show. Can you imagine? Going around the vineyard taste testing everything. That would be a lot of fun. I'm not sure how long the show would last. We'd probably just collapse at a table somewhere. Have you guys ever seen the absolutely fabulous episode where they're at the French vineyard tasting everything, and where they're supposed to spit out the wine once they've tasted it? They're just drinking glasses and glasses, and eventually they're just walking out of this vineyard with about 15 bottles of wine. That's one of my favorite episodes. Andy Masterson, good to see you. It says I'll stick with whiskey and Guinness. Guinness, I do like. I do like a Guinness, but Guinness really depends on where you drink it. So it's the quality of the water that really makes Guinness, and whether or not the pub that you're drinking it from is very on top of cleaning out their pipes. Obviously, the best Guinness is in Ireland, but I've had really good in Scotland as well, in Edinburgh. Baruhim says, Mead. The origin of the word honeymoon. Pink and purple amidst the grapes. Yep. Guinness is basically bread. I've heard people put forward that argument before. And I've seen people able to float a coin on Guinness. But there is an art to pouring a glass of Guinness. You have to tilt the glass. I once was in a pub and she didn't know how to pour Guinness, and it was about 2 inches of Guinness at the bottom of the glass, and then the rest was all head. I had to ask her politely to pour another one, please, and this time tilt the glass, let it rest, take the head off, and then top up the glass. Andy says, one day I'll get to Dublin. Absolutely, Dublin's an amazing place to visit. It really is. There's some fantastic bars, and they do really great live music. Lord Duff says not getting a lot of head is a bad thing. Mm-hmm. Indeed. Xmas party show drink. Put a double Baileys in a pint glass, dump half a pint of lager on top, wait for 2 full minutes for the show, and then for the solids to form, then down in one go. Must empty the glass. I'd be up for that. I like Guinness and I like Baileys, so we'll put a pin in that and see what happens. That's a good one. Dave G. Sand, I've heard a pint of Guinness has the same calories as a cheeseburger. Pretty much, yeah. Guinness is a meal in itself. You can either have half a pint of Guinness and a meal, or you can have a full pint and nothing else. That's usually the way. Oh my gosh, you guys. Thank you so much for joining me today. Like I said, I wanted to try and do something that's kind of lighthearted and a little bit silly. But I'm so glad to have you guys to hang out with and chat with. You guys are the best as always. We have got a lot coming up in the next week. So starting with today, we have got a ladies' night. It will be on Arwen's channel later on this evening. We have got the Lady Arwen. We've got the lovely Mary's Game Room. We have got the amazing Darth Ilena. And you've got me as well. And we're just going to be hanging out, and it's going to be kind of like a pink and purple, but with more ladies. So more ladies, more fun. We're going to have a fantastic stream tonight. Sunday, I will be joined again by Darfalina. It's going to be our monthly history show. So really looking forward to that. And then Monday, I've got a big panel joining me, and we are going to be celebrating everything Lord of the Rings. So so much stuff coming up. I know a lot of you guys are streaming over the weekend, so I'm going to try and catch as many of you guys as I can while I'm finishing wrapping Christmas presents, because that's the one thing I do need to do. I've got about 3 presents left to wrap, so I will be doing that over the weekend as well. And there's a little bit of other kind of behind the scenes things that I'm going to be working on for the new year. So we've got so much coming up. We've got Brandon is launching his channel again on the 1st. We've got shows. I know Daryl will be having a show. We've got a show coming up on Saturday, I believe, that Fat Stephen is going to be hosting. I know Snowdub is going to be having shows coming as well. So, guys, we have so many incredible content creators within the community. It really does make me happy just to see so many people having fun on YouTube, and to see so many familiar names and faces on the panels and in the chats. It really does make it feel like it's one big family, and that's just what we need at this time of year. So, guys, I will say a massive thank you to everybody who joined me today. A huge thank you to everybody who sent super chats, who sent super stickers. You guys are amazing as always. A big thank you to Mark and Chris for moderating. We are an amazing team, and I really appreciate you guys as always. I will see you guys hopefully tonight, but if not, definitely somewhere on YouTube over the weekend. So, everybody, have a fantastic Friday. Look after each other, look after yourselves, relax, and we are heading into Christmas, guys. So, have a wonderful rest of your day, and love to you all. Mwah. Take care, everyone.